Bill?
Yeah. Speak.
Stand by, please. 3, 2, 1, and speak.
Well, Amy, we haven't had a chance to talk in a while, but it's wonderful to see you again.
It's good to see you.
And particularly, I'm delighted to be talking with you about Delancey Crossing, because what a neat movie.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
Very much. Yeah, I hope it does well.
I hope so too.
Do you have any concern about it? You know, some people are probably going to say, well, it's a very New York movie. So, and if that translates to be a negative to some people, do you worry about that?
Well, I don't really see it so much as a New York film as a film about single women, and I think that's pretty universal. And I think if that's the theme that comes out of it, and I think the core of the film is a realistic romance, and I think if that's the word that gets spread, it'll have a better chance.
Yes, it's almost in recent months or years, I would say, the definitive single woman's movie.
Well, it does pull a lot of things together. I think a lot of people relate to it. When we showed it in Los Angeles at a sneak preview, which is the only audience I've seen it with, people were talking back at the screen, and when I started to make wrong moves, they'd start telling me, don't do that, do this, and at the end they were clapping when we got together, and I think it's because these characters are very accessible. They're very real, and they make mistakes, and it's not all glossed over like a lot of Hollywood romances. It's something that a lot of people are dealing with right now, and so they can touch those people and get involved.
There is, in the story, it's involved with a matchmaker. Now, I just thought that matchmakers were in Fiddler on the Roof.
Me too. That was another film that they're in. I think they existed, and not so much today, but obviously there are one or two around still.
Was there anything autobiographical about this story that you know of?
As far as the writer's work, well, Susan Sandler did write it, was inspired by her own relationship with her grandmother, her Bobbie. And I don't know if she set her up with it. I don't think she actually set her up, but I'm sure the Bobbie wasn't pleased that as she hit her 30s she wasn't married, and that's something this film is loosely based on.
Do all Jewish people call their grandmothers Bobbie?
No.
It was just an affectionate name she had.
A lot of people do. It is a common, but it's not everybody uses it.
I have interviewed Razel just briefly before I came in here. What a remarkable lady.
Absolutely. She is, and we were so lucky to find her. And we looked all over for my Bobbie, and she the last person to walk in our door, and we had to yank her to come through the door because she's a big star of the Yiddish theater, and had never auditioned for anything in her life, had never acted in English before, never been in a movie before, and somehow we coaxed her into coming into the office, and the moment we met, it was like love at first sight. It was like, this is my Bobbie, and she will be for the rest of my life.
She has that quality, doesn't she? I mean, an outpouring of love.
Absolutely, and she wants everything to be taken care of, and she wants you looked after, and it extends right down to my son. It's always, how's Max, what's he doing, and is he feeling all right? She's into taking care of all of us.
How old is Max now?
3.
And is he showing any signs of being interested in acting or directing?
Oh God, I hope not. No sign of that. So far his interests are more in animals, and he looks more like he's veering towards being a veterinarian. I mean, that's his first love, is animals.
Does he have a lot of pets?
He's got quite a few. He's got a couple of dogs, he's got a couple of cats, he's got a couple of parrots, and I mean, he adopts any animal that comes near him. If there were a rabid, snarling, vicious dog sitting in a gutter, he'd go and throw his arms around him and kiss him.
Doesn't that concern you?
Well, I don't let him get too close to rabid dogs, but
no, but I mean, just
I love that he's fearless. I love that.
You don't worry that he goes up to strange animals? And
well, I keep my hand in there. I don't let him do it. I mean, I just know he would, but I like that he's not afraid, and he's so loving.
He has traveled, I guess, about at least halfway around the world,
You
hasn't he?
should see his passport. It's really amazing. He's been traveling since he was 2 weeks old.
And he apparently just adapts to it.
He loves it.
But there are certain problems, maybe not as much now as when he was an infant, but just his hourly needs, I guess. Wouldn't that be a problem? Or was it?
I think his hourly needs are constantly fulfilled. When he says jump, we say how high.
But does he remember any of the places he's been at age 3?
Some of them. I mean, he remembers certain places. He certainly remembers home. I mean, it's a whole different Max when he gets home. But we've created, I think, pretty much since we travel so much that we've made homes wherever we go. And I think to him, home is where Mom and Dad are.
Do you carry certain little toys
Oh
and
yeah,
things?
he's got his soft puppy and his gizmo and his blanket that he goes everywhere with.
Do you or will you resent the comparison of this film to Moonstruck?
No, not at all. I made that comparison after I finished shooting it. I went and saw Moonstruck, not knowing anything about it, and I walked out and I went, I feel so good. This is a wonderful movie, and I thought, oh, I think we made one of these, meaning that a wonderful feel-good family picture, and I was pleased. I mean, you could be compared to worse.
That's for sure. But sometimes actresses just resent comparisons of any kind.
No, I don't.
Well, you're very stable, I would say.
I am.
Amy, it's been fun talking with
Thanks.
you again
Nice talking
here in
to
New
you.
York City, and I do hope the picture does well. It
Thanks.
deserves to do well.
Great. Well, thank you. I hope so too.